Sorry, I have multitask every day. It's so hard sometimes. Okay. Exploding into every move, it's better for me to just do the less explosiveness. I might have to shut that off. I'd say I got started in Jiu-Jitsu. I'd go back to when I got introduced to combat sports, and I wrestled in high school at 16. And that's the first time I got introduced to a combat sport. And I knew from there that's what I was good at. I didn't have a great career in wrestling, and I went through a lot of things in my life that separated me from it. I went to train MMA at the age I think about like 23, I want to say 23. I'm 30 now, so it's been a little bit. And in the MMA training, I trained Jiu-Jitsu, and I fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu, and from there, it shifted to being MMA champion to being a Jiu-Jitsu champion, and then being a fighter, and since then it's just been nonstop, just straight forward. But where Jiu-Jitsu came through, like I love training Jiu-Jitsu. Just the humiliation that you have to go through, and you can't fake that on the mat. Like you can't lie about your skill on the mat. Like it comes out, and for me it was, in my life, coming from a lot of abuse, it brought me a sense of calm, relax, a way to express my anger, and it's just, there's no feeling like grappling. Like there's just no feeling like grappling when I'm on the mat and I'm sweating and I'm dying on the mat. As much as I hate it, I love it, you know? So for me, that feeling, like if I'm training and I'm not dying, it's like not fun for me. Like I should be dying on the mat, you know?
Belt down, guys, tie your belts. Let's go. We're starting the match.
I'm a person that comes from a background of extreme abuse at a very, very, very early age. Any type of abuse you could possibly think of. I think for me, growing up was very hard. So for me, I still suffer from anxiety, depression, and OCD, and I get depressed for no reason sometimes. I think the main thing is to know what your goal is, set little goals in between, and any time that you feel like it's over, you got to take yourself out of your body and look at your life. And you know, if I lose a match, I get really depressed, and when I get like that after a few days, I take myself out, and then I look at my life and I say, okay, you went through all this stuff when you were younger, you wanted to do all these things when nobody thought you would do them, now you're doing them. You're alive, you're a black belt, you're living your dream, you're teaching other people, you're helping people. Life isn't so bad. And I think we think sometimes we're in it and it becomes difficult. But if we take a step back, there are probably always going to be more positives than there are negatives. It's just kind of like how we choose to look at it. And this is easier said than done, because you know, I'll say this and then like I'll probably have a bad day and still get depressed, but at some point you gotta, like, you know, you're alive. Like, you only can do you only can deal with what you can control, and I only can control what I do forward, not in the past. So you just got to try to hold tough, and I always like to tell myself, like, I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, and as long as I'm breathing, I'm gonna see it through the end. So if I go through my life and I never hit the goals that I set for myself, that would suck. I'd be really upset about it. But I'm just gonna give it my all, and that's all you really can do. We can't, if we knew the outcome, it wouldn't be fun, you know? The best part about life is that we don't know. We gotta have to bank on it. Like, if I told you, coming from the household I came from, the families I came from, and all the abuse, the being at moments being poor, and at moments taking cold showers with a bucket, to extreme sexual abuse at an early age. If I told you I was gonna do this, you laugh in my face. Everybody did. But it's that progression and those things that should motivate you to go do those things. And you should never let anybody try to take away from what you want to do. I love teaching. Teaching is part. I think people underestimate teaching. I think there's so much you can teach somebody just by teaching jiu-jitsu. The training being hard, the pushing yourself, not giving up. These are things that translate straight to life. And if you can get beat up on the mat profusely and consistently come in every day and get beat up, then you can go to that job that you hate and keep going and going and going until you have to deal with, you know, move on or get something else. It's definitely something that I'd love to do, and I think I try to do it well. I try to do it really well. I think I'm still learning how to do it better, but it's very important to me to come in and teach. It's a way of me giving back to people the same way a couple people in my life gave back to me, and they gave me the opportunity. I want to give that to other people. 30 people in the morning is awesome. It wasn't always like that. I think it started with nobody in the morning, and over 4 years I built the class to grow to very, 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 very big. And I think that they come in because at Unity we do jiu-jitsu what I feel the right way. I feel that we do it, we don't coddle that much. Like, we do hard training, but that's the way it's supposed to be. It's a combat sport, so you're supposed to come in and have fun and do this, but you're supposed to fight. You're supposed to do these things, and I implement this in my class, and I feel like they want to get better at jiu-jitsu, so I wake up and offer them extra things 4 days a week, and they come in and they want to get better so much that they come in, they push themselves, they come in to drill early, and so they built like a family style where they all train really hard, but they all love each other and they're constantly in here. And when you have a constant amount of people, about 20 people and up, it does take a level of dedication. I think that they really want to get better, and I like to talk to people about real life stuff and the real issues you go through on a daily basis. And for me, it's reaching out to people who are exactly like me, who have felt real pain and know the world that is not so easy to be out there. And for me, beyond my own goals, beyond everything, that's like something that I feel I'm meant to do, is to go out there and do what I want to do for me, reach my goals, help myself, but really help people that are like me, or anyone, feel like they can go reach their goals even if the bad things have happened to them, that they feel like they can't come back from. And I'm still learning how to deal with mine, but I'm moving forward, and I'm just trying to help people move with theirs. So I wouldn't give Jiu-Jitsu up for anything. Anything. It's priceless to me. I mean, for me, it's more than a job. It's my job. I love it. It gets tiring sometimes, but yeah, you go like one day without training, and I'm like, nah, I need to train, I need to drill, you know, like it's just something that's important to me. But thinking back on it now, it's just, you know, you work with what you have, and then when the doors open or the opportunities come, you have to take them. I think the harder route is to go and follow your dreams and do what you love, which is very difficult. It's so hard. I don't sleep, but it's also so worth it because you go out there, you see things, you learn, you meet people, you build your craft, and then you give back and you pay it forward. And for me, I think anyone who goes out there to chase something that they love, that calls to them, is a very special thing. And by no means is it easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be harder. I went out and I lived it on my terms. I don't want to live life on anyone's terms, and I don't think anyone should live life on based on what their parents want them to do, or anybody wants them to do.
Grip, I put it on her back, I go in right away. I need to, when I put it on the back if I'm going for a knee, I need to dive in, sliding in here, gripping the tricep, underhooking. If I was being mean, I would put my head in her chin and I'd drive her face the other way while I cut.
I think if you want to start your journey in Jiu-Jitsu, you have to just be honest with what your goals are. If your goals are just to come in and train and just, you know, have it as an outlet, then let it be that. If your goal is to be a world champion, then it has to be honest with yourself on what that takes to become a world champion. It's all about goal range, right? If your goals, you know, you have to work as hard as your goals are, right? Or even harder. I always think that when you give effort 100%, you get 50% back. Right? So for everything you get, you're only getting half back. So you put 5 hours on the mat, you're gonna get, you know, 2.5 back. So you have to be smart with your goal range. As long as you're honest with yourself, just do it, do the journey, take the chance, have some fun, choke some people. And then, you know, from there, just let it evolve into what it is. But if you decide that you want to do it as a full-time thing, as a world champion, or you're going to have to be very honest with what it takes to do it. And that's the difference. I think a lot of people want to do this, or they think they want to do this to the point where they want to be a world champion and stuff, and then they don't realize how much it takes. Because I can tell you right now, at this level, every day, it is exhausting, it is tired, it's hard, it's very tough. But it should be like that, because anything that easy isn't worth your time. It's Murilo Santana, and it's not because he's my professor. It's not because he's my coach. I met Murilo as a blue belt, and I met him. When I got into Jiu-Jitsu, I never paid attention to anything, so I didn't know who he was or anybody was. I didn't study tape. I just focused on what I wanted to do. So when I met him, I just met him. I thought he was I knew he was a higher level guy, but I just trained with him, and through him, I learned what real hard work ethic was. Always worked hard, but he showed me that you can work harder. A very big thank you to my morning class and the special people around me that keep me very calm, relaxed, and always deal with me. And all the fans and just friends in the Jiu-Jitsu community and in the world who follow me, and follow me because it's real and it's not fake, and it's not because I'm trying to mislead you or anything, or that you follow me because you're trying to better your life, or you're trying to get inspiration. Those things mean more to me than anything, so thank you. I think I get a lot of messages on Instagram for this, about how, like, I want to do Jiu-Jitsu full time, but I you know, I have to work and I got to do all these things. And I think there should be a balance. I think they should have go to school. I think they should go for their degrees and whatever it is. But if they want to fully commit, at some point you got to take the risk. And if the risk is worth the reward in the end to you, right? Then you got to take it, because at some point you're gonna have to jump, and it's just gonna have to do it. I had to do it. I had to take one risk at one point where I quit my job, lost that income, and was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this 100% and make this my career. It worked, but it took days of being broke, days of not being able to, you know, do things, and it worked, but it took a lot. And people are afraid to fail when they do it, so it's okay to take the leap and fail. As long as you fail and you still go forward. Like, you fail, you learn from it, you fix it, and then you go back and you keep learning. I think the person that is consistent and doesn't give up and is willing to take that risk is able to progress in there. It's sometimes very hard in a sport, or in anything, but especially like Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe you come in and you want to do this, and you walk into a gym and you just get your ass whooped for weeks on end, months, years before it clicks. You know, the person who keeps going makes it, and the person who decides that they're done, you know, that's the person that doesn't make it. So I think you got to be committed 100%, but taking the leap at some point is very necessary.